I think we're close to getting back to where we need to be. I see a lot of, again, it's 20 minutes, but we need to play 40. I mean, I was on a roll at home. I mean, they're a very good team at home, and I thought we went toe-to-toe in the first half and did a lot of good things. That first 4 minutes really got us back on our heels, and we had good shots. We had some good layups, turned the ball over, and we haven't really been turning the ball over at an alarming rate. And that's what we did this time against the first time against Michigan State. We didn't turn the ball over. So if we can take care of the ball and clean up and tighten up some things, get the rust off MJ a little bit as we head into the postseason here, I think those things are really important. Tighten up the rebounding, and then our offense needs to help. Our offense needs to help our defense. I get it. We had some good shots. We also took some contested shots. Got to get back to sharing the basketball and putting the ball inside and letting them play inside out. I think that's where we're most effective. But I think we're close. A lot of the issues I'm seeing on film are very correctable. Our guys have a great mindset. Their approach in film was great yesterday, and I know they're excited for this opportunity.
I don't want to put words in your mouth, but it seemed like in the post game maybe you were alluding to effort issues a little bit in the middle 10 minutes spanning the two halves. Was that the case? And to what extent do you feel like fatigue is a factor in that at this point?
No, I definitely think fatigue's in a factor. It's a long plane ride. You just had a tough mental and physical game against Rutgers, which it always is. But I don't want to make excuses, and I'm not giving explanations. I'm not doing that. We're not into that. Not at this point of the season. So I do think fatigue played a little bit of a factor because that game was blistering. It was up and down. But we have to have the mental conditioning, something I've talked to you guys about all season long, the mental fitness to really get your second wind and to battle through. And it's March, man. It's March, and you're playing meaningful games in March. How fun is that? Man, that's exciting. You have 21 wins, 11 wins in the Big Ten. You're still top 25, however many weeks that's been. Really exciting stuff. Historical year. Now we got to finish it. It's March.
You guys have done a pretty good job all year of counter-punching.
Yeah.
It seems like over the last couple of games that has not been there, maybe to the extent that it was earlier on. You want these guys to shoot with confidence. I don't think any of the shots that Seth looked like they weren't going to go in, but how do you kind of figure out a way collectively to sort of find that counterpunch again?
Yeah, watching the first game against Michigan State, I mean, they punched and we counterpunched big time. I would even say at Purdue, we counterpunched. And I think that's just, playing with confidence, getting the rust off MJ, and playing fast. When we play fast like we did in that first half at Rutgers, man, we look like the team that's played all season long. So we got to get that, again, we got to get that second win going. We got to get that next gear going, especially against a team who's playing their best. And I'm excited about playing Michigan State at their best. We're going to see exactly where we are and what we need to do moving forward.
You guys have obviously lost before this last game, but you hadn't gotten, I would say, beaten in a long time. What is the information that you gather from a game like that versus one where you just lose, and what is the response, especially this time of year, to try and avoiding that situation again?
Yeah, I thought we had some good threes. They didn't go in. I thought we had a couple layups. They didn't go in. And I thought we did one of the best jobs on Garza up until the last 4 minutes where he started we were pressing and they were just kicking it up to him. I thought Mike and John and Lamar and everybody did a real nice job on him. I think he was 3 for 16 going into halftime. So I thought we have the bigs that can, slow him down for the most part. For me, it was the other guys. It was the role players, the Connor McCaffreys of the world who really did a nice job. And C.J. Frederick hasn't played in a couple games, and he came out and did what he was supposed to do. Playing on the road in this league is difficult, even though we've had a lot of success. And that's something I told the team. I woke up on Sunday thinking our guys believe that we can win every game. I don't know if that was the case over the last 8 years. And they're that dejected in the locker room after games. That is progress. That is progress, man. Especially from the leader. Come on, man, let's keep it transparent in here. Some games you're going into, you look at your team, you're like, whoa, let's hang on here. No, these guys truly believe and are invested that they can win every game that they step on the floor. That's outstanding. Now, things didn't go our way in the second half. You show them the film, you learn from it, you continue the process of getting better. But that's why this league is so good this year. It's mind-blowing of all the teams that are bunched at the top now.
Can you speak to the depth of the league? I think there are 8 teams in the top 25 this week, and I don't know
Is that
that I've
right?
I don't know that I've ever seen that. Is this as deep and kind of balanced as you've seen it?
You know what? Let me start at Minnesota. Watching those guys, I mean, I've been Richard. Remember January of last year? I don't even want to bring it up, but I just did. I've been him. You're in every game, and something just doesn't go your way. Free throw, whatever. Missed block out, they get a tip out, and somebody hits a three. Just something just doesn't go your way. He is competing, his team's competing at an extremely high level, Maryland and Wisconsin, and yet he's in the bottom part of the league. I don't know who's the 10th right now. I didn't look, or the 11th. I'm sorry. Is it Minnesota or Purdue? Is it Purdue? I haven't looked. Anyway, can you imagine that? I mean, those are battles. They're battle tested. And Northwestern just wins at Nebraska in an overtime game. There's no easy games on the docket. And to have 8 teams, again, I didn't look at the top 25, but to have 8 teams in the top 25 just shows you the strength of this league.
And what's your assessment of how Myron played and where he was kind of gas-wise and all
Yeah,
those things?
I expected a little rust. And he was rusty, and he was winded. Especially to jump into a game versus Iowa, who's the highest-scoring team in the league. Probably not the best game to start back at when it's like this, going up and down, and he's just trying to get his win back. So, I mean, it's the same thing with Michigan State tomorrow night. But we're going to keep putting him out there and get him ready for postseason play.
Confidence is obviously important for any shooter, but how important is it for someone like MJ, who's the catalyst of your offense when Lamar's not out there?
It's going to be really important headed down the stretch here. I think Miles Dredd has to continue to shoot. Seth is making his shots. Maybe some tough ones he took, but still good ones. But MJ needs to believe that we believe in him, and if he has an open one, he's got to stick it. And I think he knows that. We talked yesterday after film. He knows that. He's got to search his shots. He's got to look for shots, and he's got to make everybody else better too. But he'll catch up. It's going to take him a little while, but he'll catch up. He was out a long time. Let me bring that up. I'm really proud of our team for weathering the storm. You need a little bit of luck, right? And we were a little bit unlucky. You look at Illinois. Ayo was only out 2 games, maybe 1. C.J. Frederick, 2 games. Wisconsin, nobody, right? Everybody's, for the most part, been pretty healthy since the Kobe King stuff. You got to get a little bit lucky with health, with bounces. And you just got to, hey, I'm really proud of being 4-2 without MJ, man. These guys really stepped up and did some great things. That shows you the depth of our team. And that team still needs to get better. There's a better team within this team. I know it. We just got to get MJ going now.
Pat, you mentioned that there have been times this season where Lamar maybe isn't having as much fun playing as he used to, but
Did I say that?
Yeah, you did
That
last
was fun.
week.
I don't know, but go ahead.
No, but going into tomorrow night, how did they balance, especially he, Mike, and Curtis playing their last game at the Bryce Jordan Center? How do they balance that with needing to win a crucial game?
Yeah, I met with those guys. I just said, guys, it's go out and play basketball. We'll worry about the senior stuff after the game. Worry about what's inside the lines. That's the most important thing right now, and being a great teammate. And your family will be there afterwards and all that stuff, but you need to be dialed in and focused on the task at hand, and that's getting better. That's improvement. That's growth. That's what we have to do. I want to see us play 40 minutes. We've played sporadically right now, and that's not going to be good enough as we approach Big Ten tournament and the NCAA tournament.
You know that you're going to the tournament for all intents and purposes. We can say that confidently. With at least 3 games left, how does that change the equation of what you're trying to prepare for, how you develop versus maybe when you've got 3 games left at the end of the year and maybe you're not going to the postseason? How do you kind of ramp up to that without looking too far ahead, but without not being prepared?
It's a good point, and my message to the guys yesterday was, again, trying to put your walls up. Don't worry about the what ifs. You can't win the moment unless you're in the moment, staying present. I know I'm a broken record, but that's what I've been saying. And we have to continue to get better. And we can get better. You go back to that 8-game winning streak, we were playing at an elite level, a really high level. Can we get to that level again and a little bit better? and take the next step and punch through. That's the goal in practice today. That's the goal tomorrow night. That's the most important thing to me heading into postseason.
Coach, with Myron being back, it kind of brings you back to that 9-man rotation that you guys started the year with and started that 8-game winning streak with. How has that just little piece of depth kind of helped the team, like, as you kind of go on this run here?
Yeah, I think the long run, it's going to really help us. Short term, again, we looked a little off balance because he was back. So now we looked a little choppy at points, and everybody's getting used to playing with MJ again, and MJ being out there, and vice versa. So that's the stuff that we need to work on today at practice, for sure, and get him more accustomed and relaxed. So now we move forward, and that should help us as we move forward. We need that depth. You need to be able to play 9 or 10 guys. Foul trouble has crept up on us. We fouled a little bit more over the last 5 games. We're 2-3 in the last 5 games. It's been foul trouble. It's putting opponents on the free throw line. And we're not shooting the ball as well as we once were. So is that fatigue? Is that mental fatigue? Now you're adding another guy, so that should help us out.
Maybe even beyond Saturday, it seemed like maybe Jamari had been ramping up to that tee in some of his reactions to calls. Was that true? I guess first and foremost, and is that a check yourself kind of moment? I guess.
No, I just talked to the guys about being disciplined. You're on the road. You're not going to get calls, and if you're going to react like that, we haven't had that official in a long time, so he doesn't know our team that well. So it's unfortunate, but he can't do that. We need him in the game, and when he hasn't played his solid minutes, it's hurt us. It's really hurt us. I go back to Rutgers. It hurt us on the road at Rutgers. He doesn't play his normal, 25 to 30 minutes. So we need him in the game. He needs to stay disciplined. We're definitely going to need him in the game tomorrow night against Cassius. That's for sure.
At senior night, we'd be remiss not to ask a little bit about these guys. There's a lot of people that commit and say they want to do something when they're out of school, and it's much harder to actually do that thing. And I would say for the most part, Lamar has done all the things he said he wanted to do, and he committed. What does that sort of say about him and the importance that, I mean, these things are all obvious, but.
Yeah, if you don't believe in vision boards, you should, right? I mean, we laid it out for Lamar, what it could be if he stayed the course and came to Penn State and left a legacy. And I think he's done that. I mean, over the last 3 years, what's the stat? We've won the most games in a 3-year span, and he's put this program, we've been a top net 50 team or top 35 team, right? Or at least net 50 over the last 3 years. So he's put us on the map. He's done a great job for us. And he's carried the torch very well. It's hard to be on every billboard and every marketing piece and be in front of you guys all the time. That's taxing. That can really wear you down. But he does it with great integrity and great character and willingness. And we don't talk about the charity things he does and how he approaches Special Olympics and the Buddy Walk and Alzheimer's and Coaches versus Cancer and Thon that Friday night that he was here walking around on the dance floor. He doesn't get enough credit for holistically his approach and how he's been handling this. For him to come back and do what he's done, and this is what I'm going to do, and guess what? He did it. We did it. It's pretty remarkable when you put it out there like that. What a great impact he's going to leave on this program. And guess what? He's going to leave an impact on these players in that locker room because now they had somebody to look up to and say, this is how it gets done. This is how you have to work. This is how you conduct yourself. We need to do that. And if we do that, then you will continue to find success on and off the floor. A special kid, special family.
With senior night tomorrow night, have you allowed yourself to reflect on he and Mike's careers here and what they've meant to the program?
No. I'm preparing for Michigan State. I will tonight. I will. I need to, because then I need to be at my best during this game. And so tonight I'm going to sit back and kind of reflect. And I just asked Rose for some more notes and things of that nature to kind of just, like you said, reflect on what he's meant to me and my family, my immediate family. Pretty special, both of them. And for Mike to stay the course, he could have left at any point, but he knew that this was the right place for him. And that journey episode that he did brings you to tears. you get a good feel for where this kid's coming from, and the people at this place that all stuck by him, from President Barron to Sandy Barber to all of us. Special kid, but he had to want to do it too. That's my point. He had to want to do it because he easily could have said, "This is too hard. I'm out of here," and we all stuck to it.
I know this is 9 months later or whatever it is from Lamar making that decision, but can you go back to those couple of days or that stretch and how close you felt like he was to actually leaving versus your confidence in him coming back?
You know what? I was at the point that I was totally secure and fine with whatever decision he came up with, because he's really intelligent, smart kid, good inner circle. I knew that they would make the best decision for him and his future. And that's why I felt like, it was more 60-40 than 40-60. But if he happened to go that way, yeah, I would have been upset. But I knew that they had done their homework and really researched what the best decision for him was. So I'll tell you what, I was in a car driving to Philly, and I got to tell you, when that phone call came in, I was overjoyed. If you want me to take you back to the moment. A lot of moments this year. Now we got to get the momentum back.
Any other questions for Coach?
See you tomorrow night, guys.